Alrighty, let's get you guys caught up on what's going on in Vietnam. Alrighty, so as usual, like I said before, the Vietnam Dong versus the Iraqi dinar, these are two separate situations. What we're looking for when it comes to Vietnam, their currency is signs that their economy is booming. You know what I mean? By the way, this I like this picture. It's really nice, although the water is awfully ugly. So, nonetheless, okay. So look, real quick. There was a slight little dip in cryptocurrencies, but they're starting to go back up. And once we get done and we get back to work, I'm anticipating a huge jump. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm not a professional, but look, it's just safe to think that once people start getting back to work and they start feeling, you see the markets, the stock markets starting to go up like like we anticipate them to do so, then you're going to see the same thing happen to cryptocurrencies. At one time, XRP was closer to 33 cents. You look at it, it's about 1660 right now. So, you know, I'm trying to buy as many XRPs as possible before this run happens. I'm anticipating it to go up. I told you we got Bitcoin halving that's coming up here shortly. It's in May, so you got about a month and a half before this takes place. And Bitcoin can't stay down at this level. It's not feasible for miners to continue to mine Bitcoin at this rate. As a matter of fact, we've seen the largest Bitcoin mining company. I did a video, and you guys, I talked about it. One of the largest Bitcoin mining companies in America just shut her down for now. It's too costly at these prices. All right. So it's not even at 6,000. But like I said, in order for them to be feasible, they're going to have to reach somewhere around the $16,000 mark. I find it hard to believe that the people that are mining Bitcoin, especially over since 90% of the mining done for Bitcoin is done in China. There's a lot of rich people out there that are mining Bitcoin. So I don't expect them to keep these lows. The cryptocurrencies are easy to manipulate. So let's just see how things pan out. I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. I'm anticipating it to run down. At one time, this was down to 13 cents. It's now up to 16. It's been kind of hovering between, the high 16s and 17 and low 17 cents. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Hopefully it'll continue to go up slowly. A nice slow growth would be nice. Okay, like I always do, like a quick reminder here. If you guys are unaware of this, there's Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description and encourage everybody to come on into the group. In the group, we have all kinds of news concerning the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, what's going on with gold, silver, you name it, cryptocurrencies. Everything is in here for you guys to come and take a look at this, okay? So I encourage you just to do so. Come on in and see what they're talking about. Even the Zims talked about in here, okay? Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description. Encourage you to come on in here and join and see what these people have going on. If you have any questions, these people are really good about answering them. If I have time, I usually go to group and, post stuff myself as well as answer questions that are in there. So I encourage you to follow the link if you have Facebook and come join our group. It's free. All right. Also, a lot of you have been buying cryptocurrencies or asking about them. There is a link in the description where you can follow it and you could go there and start buying cryptocurrencies. Just for following the link, they'll give you 10 free dollars. And if you go down to where it says earn cryptocurrencies in there, you can earn, about $60 worth. I think now it's $132 worth of free cryptocurrency. So that's free money. And I encourage you to do so if you do decide to get an account over there on Coinbase. Okay. So let's get over here into Vietnam. What is going on? Like I said, we look for signs of economical growth. Okay. This is what we want. We talked about this. Vietnam, this is now official, came out today. Actually, it comes out tomorrow. You like this? So, anyways, look at. So Vietnam records 2.8 billion trade surplus in quarter one, despite pandemic. That's good for us. We know in April 6th, the new punishments or penalties for currency manipulation is by the Trump administration starts on April 6th. I'm curious to see what is going to happen with Vietnam. So we're looking about what by this in a week from today, we'll see. I'm not anticipating those countries that are manipulating their currency magically changing their currencies. I mean, it might happen, but we don't know how this works. I could tell you that in May, so after April comes May, that's when the currency manipulation report comes out. Now, Vietnam has been on the last two as violators. I could tell you this, if they are on this third one, the penalties will be enforced. So are we going to finally see this increase in the Vietnam Dong? We might see it. It might happen anytime between now and May. You know what I mean? Before this new report comes out. Okay, so they have a huge trade surplus. This is good. Okay, so anyways, it goes on here to talk about despite the pandemic, there has been a trade surplus. Okay, so they're talking about the domestic sector posted a trade deficit of 4.4 billion, while the foreign invested sectors witness a trade surplus of 7.2 billion. Okay, so you can see they came out with a plus on the plus side of 2.8 billion. Anyways, I'll leave, like I always do, a link to this article so you can come in here and read this. You can see that, since this time last year, Vietnam has really been thriving. Especially they benefited from Trump's trade war with China. A lot of those companies that were over there in China took off and came over here to Vietnam. Their economy is obviously benefiting from that. And in addition to that, Vietnam is looking to be a bigger player on the international field. Okay, so let's see what happens. But I'm anticipating, they have to do something between now and May. They cannot afford to be on the monitoring list for a third time. Okay, so once you're on the list, you're automatically on there for 2 times. What you don't want to be is on there a third time. All right, so I'm curious to see what kind of moves Vietnam is going to make to try to avoid being on that list, because if they're on that list, I would imagine the new penalties go into effect, and we know that Vietnam doesn't want that kind of pressure from the United States. Okay, over here, look at this. So the South Bank of Vietnam is willing to sell the U.S. dollar at a lower price than listed. That's nice. I'll go over there and buy some. What we need to do is like what's happening over there in Iraq. They need to do away with the dual currency system and just deal strictly in their currency only. If we could get Vietnam to do that, it will strengthen their currency. But I showed you an article where somebody was saying that the reason why that's not happening is because you have a lot of corrupt people, like in most governments, in the government, in which a lot of these people are making money outside of Vietnam. Okay? And then they, out of country, they convert the money into US dollars and then come into their own country and exchange it for their own money. So they get a lot more money that way, okay? Which I don't understand that theory. I get it, but I mean, if you're dealing in your own currency and it becomes more valuable, then you have more purchasing power, just like we talked about with Iraq. I mean, I guess I get it. If I can turn around and get a lot more of my own currency to spend inside my country by exchange or making American dollars outside of the country and then bringing that money into my country and exchanging it for my own currency versus just having my own currency in the first place. That makes sense to me. Okay, but anyways, it's going to talk about how in here the U.S. dollars. Now, the article is making a point, and that is this. Countries around the world are investing into the U.S. dollar. As economies are crashing around the world, these people are starting to buy more U.S. dollars. It's very strong. As a matter of fact, you can see right here, it's talking about the world dollar index. It's the U.S.'s dollar versus the world's 6 major currencies. It remains strong. It's at a 2-year peak, all right? It's been there. Go Trump. I mean, this guy has been creating one hell of an economy. despite this coronavirus, I anticipate, like I said, a huge boom to kick back in once everybody's back at work. All right. So if that's the case, well, the dollar's getting stronger. We talked about this before. I hate to say it. I mean, it's good for us here in our country, but truthfully, for those of us who are investing in foreign currencies, such as the Vietnam Dong or the Iraqi dinar, what we want to do is see the US dollar start to lose some of its power. If we want to see the dollar weaken a little bit. And the reason for that is the weaker the US dollar gets, and the stronger these other currencies will be against the US dollar. So that's what we're looking for. But look, in nonetheless, the more I read about what's going on in Vietnam, almost every day they have articles that's just showing that they're booming, and that's despite the coronavirus. They're seeing huge economical gains. It's really good. I showed you that there were people were upgrading where their business locations were. They were going from much smaller offices to bigger offices because they can now afford that. Okay, so all these are good signs. This is what we're looking for. See, unlike the Iraqi dinar, in which we're waiting for them just to be recognized internationally and for them to just go ahead and reinstate the rate. With Vietnam, what we want is for them to become a stronger economy, and of course for us to, our dollar to get weakened a little bit so that the exchange rate will increase. All right. So look, it's looking good, and there's not, just like in Iraq, there's not a lot of news. There's some news, and all of it's good. This is what we want to see happen. All right, we want to see Vietnam's economy to continue to grow, and I'm showing you articles that showing you that these people are still continuing to grow. They're doing very strong. So far, 2020 for them has been booming. So anyways, let's cross our fingers. I hope they keep that up. And, let's see if we have a slow recovery coming out of the coronavirus, then I really anticipate their currency's rate to change. We know they've been manipulating it. So cross your fingers that we see something happen to the Vietnam currency. Let's hope that the dong does increase in value. Let's hope that it gets to where we all been talking about. We know back in the 70s it was worth $1.12, I believe it was, or no, 72 cents. Look, to be honest with you, I'll take 4 cents. You know what I mean? 4 cents can pay off a lot of bills for as much as I have. Some of you people, I get it. You'll take something around 40 cents. I'll take that. It doesn't have to be crazy. I'll just take 4 cents. I'm just curious how much you guys got out there. So give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you'd be happy with between a 4 and 12 cent for the rate to be around 4 to 12 cents. How would you like that? All right. Let me know what you think of. All right. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.